Hello friends, let's talk breakfast. I want to give you my list of the 7 best breakfast restaurants in all of Denver. Some of these are going to be lesser known, and I guarantee you the last one, number 7, you're not going to see on any other list anywhere, ever. So let's get to it. We will go over the rules and the list right after this quick and easy intro. Okay, for those of you who don't know, my name is Sam Newman. I'm a local Denver realtor, and I would love to be your go-to real estate resource for anything in the Denver area, and also just a resource for you for a lot of this stuff. We're talking about food today, breakfast food, which I love discussing, and my goal is to be here for you for anything regarding what to do in Denver. So first of all, this is my list of the best places to get breakfast in Denver, and I went back and forth on whether to call this the best breakfast restaurants or the best brunch restaurants. I started to consider and debate the difference in meaning between breakfast and brunch, and then I decided this is meaningless and a waste of time. They both basically mean the same thing. I'm just gonna go with one of them and move on. So, best breakfast restaurant. I'm gonna give you a list of 7. And what is the methodology here? How am I picking this list? What am I going off of? Well, I did a previous video just called best restaurants, best general restaurants in the Denver area, and the criteria were just the ones that I think are the best. Purely subjective opinion, but it is my opinion after living here for well over a decade. You can Google lists and sort of get the same handful of restaurants on a lot of these. I'm just giving you my favorite places to go and some of the best places in terms of food, atmosphere, experience, all that stuff, purely in my subjective opinion. Only other real rules with these are I try to avoid chains. Some of these are going to have multiple locations because they've done very well and have opened up more than one. That's fine. I'm down with that. But if it's a big national chain, not really something I'm interested in. Same thing with the other video. Nothing against chains. I think there's actually a time and a place for them. But for this, I want to give the local Denver flavor, and I want to look at places that are really Denver, Colorado. And the only other rule I have is no snooze. I'm not including snooze. Nothing against snooze, but snooze and I have been at odds for years, simply because I'm not waiting in line 45 minutes for pancakes. Just my thing. But let's get to the list. This is 7 restaurants. They are all over the board. Actually, it's going to be the 6 best restaurants, what I think are the best breakfast restaurants in Denver. And then number 7, I don't know if I'd call it one of the best, but it is something that is just near and dear to my heart for a number of reasons, and I wanted to include it because I want you to go there. So, number 1, Denver Biscuit Company. If you've been in Denver for any length of time, you know DBC. It is a very popular breakfast restaurant. It has a few locations, but the original is on Colfax, and if you haven't been, that's the one I want you to go to, because that is Denver Biscuit Co. as the way the Lord intended. A delicious, unhealthy breakfast on kind of a sketchy street. So it's all about the biscuits at DBC. They do have a few other things as well, but really the main calling card is their biscuit sandwiches. It is, as I said before, not healthy. It's not something you're gonna wanna go eat every Saturday, but when you're in the mood for a treat, DBC is the way to go. It's a biscuit, and a big one, stuffed with things like pork belly, or fried chicken, or catfish, or lots and lots of bacon, plus cheese, gravy, sauce, all that good stuff put together. It's the Southern-inspired Denver deliciousness that may put you in a food coma, but is totally worth trying out at least a few times. Definitely the most delicious biscuit-inspired anything that I've probably ever had. And their coffee is really good, which is an underrated part of a good breakfast restaurant. Go check it out. My favorite one is the Lola with fried chicken, and then it's covered in maple syrup and has honey butter. Listen, if you go, don't try to skimp, don't try to be healthy, just accept that this is gonna be, you're going big for this one, and enjoy. Number 2 is Sam's number 3. And this is not any favoritism shown here, just because it's named after someone with a great name. This is a classic old school diner that is just done really well. East Coast style, brought to Denver. There's a few locations of this one as well. Same thing. They opened up an original location, which is downtown, and it did really well. So they got a few locations across town. They have plenty of food. They got all your breakfast classics, and they have an extensive drink menu too. The Bloodies, the Palomas, the even like breakfast margaritas. You can go there just for a family breakfast, or you can go there to kind of party. If you look at the menu, you can see it is a diner. It's all classic diner style, and they pretty much have anything you're gonna want from a food perspective at a breakfast restaurant. Omelets, breakfast combos, pancakes, the whole deal. It's just a good diner experience. It's not too gross, but it's not too fancy. It's right in the middle, which I love. In saying not too gross, it should be a little gross. If it's a diner, just a tiny bit gross. I would not call Sam's gross, but you know what I mean. It's dinery, but it's not dirty, and it's not something that is gonna make you pay $19 for one fancy bacon Bloody Mary. Also, pro tip, they have really good and really underrated handheld breakfast burritos. If you've watched this channel before, you know I'm a big fan of the handheld breakfast burrito. More on that later, but at Sam's, you can get them for $5-6 depending on what you order, and you can order them online, go pick them up. It's a great way to like, hey, I'm bringing breakfast burritos for this meeting, and if you want to do something a little bit better than Santiago's, actually a lot better, go get some burritos from Sam's. It's still not that expensive. Or if it's just mid-morning and you're hungry and want one for yourself, it's a great move. Number 3, and this is the first little departure, is Blackbird Bakery. Okay, this is just a bakery. It's not a full-on breakfast restaurant, but we're doing all kinds of breakfast here. It's located in Edgewater Public Market. It is awesome. Here's the deal. They really just have pastries and coffee, and they specialize in croissants. Their super specialty is this croissant cube, which is beautiful and delicious. It is a cube that is a croissant, and they do it in a million different ways. Again, indulgent, but worth indulging in. It's one of those places that makes something you're not going to find anywhere else, and I appreciate that. Black Box started, from what I can tell, from just a few friends who were doing this out of their home or garage or something, and then their product was so good, it became so big, they had to open up a brick and mortar location in Edgewater Public Market. So when you're in the mood for a croissant or a pastry and you just want to get a little funky, Black Box Bakery in Edgewater, it's the best. Number 4, Gomez Burritos. Yes, we're back to breakfast burritos already. Yes, I included this one in my list of the best breakfast burritos in the Denver area, but I wanted to include a pure breakfast burrito spot in this breakfast list as well. Gomez is great. The only breakfast burrito that beats it in the greater Denver area is Cafe Mexicali, which is up in Boulder, and we're not going all the way up to Boulder for this video, just because we're not. We're trying to keep it more local here. So Gomez has a few locations. My spot, my regular spot, is the Park Ave location, downtown. Good, affordable, really delicious, big, handheld breakfast burritos. If you like them hot, get the half and half. If you like them really, really hot, get the hot. They don't play with the temperature at Gomez. You can go order them online if you don't want to wait in line, but it's the type of place that you go in, there's going to be some construction workers, there's going to be the guy that's been going there forever. It's like family run. It's great. Great spot for a breakfast burrito. Another great spot to pick up burritos for an office thing. A lot of people haven't had it. It's not quite as popular as some of these other places we're talking about. So you're going to go get the breakfast burritos. You don't need larges. You don't need the super size for your office event, unless you work with psychos, people like me. I get the super. But no, just go get the regulars, and then like $4 a piece, depending on what you get. Go get the bacon, the number 3. That's the order I recommend. And then bring them into your office, and people are going to be like, these are amazing. Where are these from? Are these Santiago's? Did Santiago suddenly get better? No. You tell them it's Gomez. Gomez is a great spot. I'm surprised you didn't know about it. Sam told me about it. No, don't tell them Sam told you about it. You take credit. You say it's your spot. That's what I want for you. Gomez. Number 5, Four Friends Kitchen. Four Friends Kitchen is in Central Park, formerly known as Stapleton. It is a hidden gem. The people there know, okay? So it's popular. I'm not saying like you can just walk in. Like if you go in peak breakfast time on a weekend, you're going to be waiting in line. You got to put your name in and then go walk around and do the whole thing. But go off peak time or do that. Whatever. Just make a morning out of it. It is a great breakfast place. A little bit elevated over like the diner experience. Not overly pricey. They do have alcoholic drinks if that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to get boozy. But their food is tremendous. It's great Cajun, Southern inspired breakfast cooking. You can get the shrimp and grits, the biscuits and gravy, but they also have huevos rancheros, stuff like that. The Southern style chicken and waffles, and my favorite, smoked brisket hash with eggs. It is awesome. I know I'm saying awesome a lot, but sorry, that's just how I feel about this. It's in my heart. It's also a great little spot. There's not a whole lot of places with character in that 29th Street Central Park area. It's all pretty new. So Four Friends, it's just bringing a lot to the neighborhood, which is why it gets so busy. So go to Four Friends, check it out, bring your friends or don't, sit at the bar or sit at a table. You can, if it's nice out, they'll have that garage door open. Great all around breakfast experience. Number 6 is the Bindery. I hope I'm saying that right. The Bindery is a restaurant in Lowhigh, and it's probably the fanciest place on this list. I don't really gravitate towards fancy, but it's not crazy fancy, and it's also very, very good. The menu's a little different. It's a little more elevated. They kind of do their things. It's not going to be like a 2 eggs, toast, and bacon breakfast, but they have their recipes. There's avocado toast on it. They're definitely into the mimosa paloma scene. So if you're feeling that kind of vibe and you're in Lowhigh, the Bindery is worth a visit. They also have dinner here, but I feel like breakfast is really where they shine, and they have a bunch of different coffee drinks. Like I said, a lot of alcoholic beverage options. It's a good place to go for like a brunch for like an event. If you're going out with the girls or with the guys, either way, and you want to have like a 2.5 hour brunch brunch and then maybe take a nap in the afternoon, this is a good place to stop. So worth it if that's your thing. Number 7, and this is my bonus one. This is the Sam special. Not calling this one of the best breakfast places, but it's certainly one of my favorite breakfast places in Denver, and it's the Ranch House. Ranch House Cafe on Colfax, and listen, this place takes no frills to another level. You're not gonna be putting your name in, waiting for a table there. It does get busy, but it's not one of these brunch places. Ranch House is a breakfast spot. Quick story, the way I discovered this place is I used to live in Park Hill and like to go to 4 friends for breakfast, but then sometimes when we would go at 9, 10 a.m. on a Saturday, 4 friends, I didn't want to wait for the wait, so we'd look around for different places, and there was this place just to the south on Colfax called Ranch House. Check it out. Okay, let's go down there. It looks pretty normal, and it is. It is a normal, put the coffee cup down, fill it up. There's creamers in the middle of the table and the little things, and we'll get you hash browns, we'll get you scrambled eggs, we'll get you your bacon or your sausage. You pick between the two, white or wheat toast. That's it. The staff is friendly. They're no BS. Listen, if you just want to go get breakfast, if you just want to go get some grease to soak up the night before, or if you're just the type of dude or dudette that likes this type of spot, like me, Ranch House, I implore you to give it a visit. It's about having breakfast, getting those breakfast classics, not trying to chase a scene, not breaking the bank. You're never going to leave there feeling unsatisfied. You're also not going to leave there having visions of Michelin stars, but is that what dining is all about anyway? Or is it about having a good meal with good people and not sitting around waiting outside, checking your watch, hoping your table's ready? As always, it depends on the situation, but sometimes the situation calls for Ranch House. Tell them Sam sent you. All right, that's it. I love you. Let me know if you have questions. Weigh in below. Otherwise, I will talk to you soon.